not? You're such a pain. How am I supposed to? Hi everyone, we have a book review today. I'm Jess and this is Quest for Pain Relief. Okie doke, so let's crack on. This book is very close to my heart. It's called Understand Pain, Take Back Control. It's a practical guide to chronic pain management and it's by David Walton. It has been a bit of a game changer for me, if I'm honest. I am a bit of a bookworm. I love my books and I do lend them out a lot. This one, however, I will be telling friends of mine that would like to borrow it to buy their own copy, and there is a reason for that. I mean, this is a book that I will go back to all the time. I've got pages that I've marked that are important to me, and I've got passages that I've highlighted that are also really important to me. So I think this is a very personal book. There are bits in here that you can write in, there's bits that you can mark off, and as I say, bits that you can highlight and go back to. There are some really important little think about it tips and tricks. I'll show you here. Yeah, just these little passages that are really helpful and sort of give you a bit of a new thought process to pain, and it makes you think differently about things and makes you think about yourself and going forward. So from this I've been able to create a bit of a care plan almost. So I bought myself a little notebook and I think this is really helpful. I'm very sort of creative, I like journaling, I like to scrapbook, things like that. So I mean, you can see I've ripped out pages because there was some other stuff in this before I used it for this. I've got notebooks everywhere. I love notebooks. I love stationery. And it just says the more you understand, the better the benefits, which comes from the book. Everything I've written in here comes from the book. And it's all just bits and pieces that I want to remember. And reminders about things that I need to do. So ask the pain clinic about CBT therapy. I really want to look into CBT therapy and see if it works for me. Creating a care plan, optimism and resilience. I've got here, your frame of mind is vitally important, because of course it is. And it talks about helplessness, rumination and magnification. So helplessness obviously is there's nothing I can do to reduce the intensity of the pain. Rumination is I can't stop thinking about how much it hurts, and I get that a lot. And magnification, I worry sometimes that something serious may happen. I worry about in the future, am I going to need, walking sticks? Am I going to get to the point where I need a wheelchair? Things like this do play on your mind, especially sort of when you're suffering with this sort of thing at my age. I mean, I'm 29, I'm 30 this year, and it does sort of make you think. I've had this for the last couple of years. I had my surgery 2 years ago. It's not gotten any better thus far. Is it going to get much better? And it's easy to get stuck in that train of thought. But this has sort of little tests in it. In the back of here, there's a little pocket, and in the back I have little note cards with my test results on, and I do this test every now and again, maybe every couple of months, every month, and I write down the results. So it basically tells you your helplessness level, your rumination level, and your magnification level. This tells me that, like the book tells me from my results, that I have an above average for catastrophizing. Am I going to have this? Am I going to get that? You know, I do, and I can't help it. But this is helping me battle that. Along with this, I sort of wanted a little bit of a self-help book, you know, going, oh yeah, you know, some nice mantras or whatever. But this is so much more than that. It gives you tips like don't exaggerate, which seems really sort of obvious or whatever, but it stays specific. What part of your home life and daily routine and your loved ones continue to bring you joy? What brings you comfort? What still feels good to you? What parts of your life feel safe? And that feeling safe really speaks to me. Really speaks to me, because there's so many times, so I'm sorry if I get a bit emotional. At the beginning of this year, myself and a big group of friends went on a skiing holiday in Bulgaria, and so excited because I'd never been on a sort of big group holiday with friends. This was something that was really special to me. But skiing. But I've always wanted to go on a cold holiday. I've never been on one. I've always been to hot places, Spain, Italy, wherever. I've been to Amsterdam and, you know, never been on like a snowy holiday. And it was absolutely fantastic and I absolutely loved it. You'll understand, if you have chronic pain, that when you do something you pay for it later. You're always in debt to your body. I always think, yeah, I'll do this, but oh my god, am I going to pay for it later? Am I going to ache later? Isn't it going to hurt? You know, I did go horse riding because that was one thing I wanted to give myself. I wanted to gift that to myself. Go horse riding in the snow. It was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. But yeah, I paid for it later. But I was willing to pay for that later, if that makes sense. Whereas skiing, snowboarding, that was too far for me. That was unsafe. Although you get sort of specialists that say, you know, listen to your body. You hear it all the time. Listen to your body. It drives you mad. But they're right. And I had to listen to myself. And although I really, really wanted to snowboard, I really wanted to ski, I just couldn't let myself. It wasn't safe. And so it's that feeling of being unsafe that translates into other things. Could I go for a bike ride? Or is that doesn't feel safe? There's a lot of times where I don't feel safe. If you're going to a birthday party, a kid's birthday party, and there's a bouncy castle, you know you want to get on that bouncy castle, but it just doesn't feel safe, and it probably isn't. Depends. Are you willing to pay for it later? I don't know. No overgeneralizing. Sleep is so important. They're just thoughts. Let them pass. Sit with it, acknowledge it, stay in the moment, and watch it pass. Watch as it goes away. They're just thoughts. They're thoughts. But acknowledge that you're having those thoughts. They're totally normal. They're totally natural. Because it's so easy to start spiralising, and I know these are all like buzzwords in here, but I actually really like them. Once you sort of get used to how it speaks and you learn this whole new vocabulary, you can start, you know, really thinking about these things and learning, and it's like studying a new subject. You'll start spiralising. Why do I think like this? And what is wrong with me? And it's just going to create more spiralising, and your mood is just going to plummet. Rather than that, think, yeah, you know, what if? What if? Take a moment to sit with those thoughts. acknowledge them, let them pass, wave them goodbye, and then move on to what you're thinking about next. Although you may be in real pain, you may not be in real danger. Again, it goes back to feeling safe. I think you get a lot of people with chronic pain will get that feeling of anxiety. A lot of us will have anxiety, may have depression, things like that. But I think a lot of that comes from feeling unsafe, feeling like if I do this, it's going to hurt, if I do that, it's going to hurt, and being in the moment and it hurting and just hurting all the time. It's exhausting and it gets you down. And I will talk about them more. I'm going to do another review where I talk about public speakers, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, TED Talks, lectures, and Lorimer Moseley and David Butler did a book called Explain Pain, and this is where I got the although you may be in real pain, you may not be in real danger. Lorimer Moseley is a wonderful public speaker, and I cannot thank him enough for everything he's done for me. But again, I'll bring that up in another video where I'm going to talk about public speakers, because they are just unbelievable. This book is just wonderful. It talks about weighing up risk with well-being. It's like how I spoke about going horse riding. That was huge on the well-being scale. If I was to go on that skiing holiday and not do any activities, everyone else would be out having a lovely time doing those activities, and I would have been walking around on my own, which just doesn't work on the well-being scale. So that was huge on my well-being scale. Yes, there was risk. Yes, I was going to hurt later. Yes, you know, I had to medicate and, you know, in bed later and everything else. But the risk and the well-being, the well-being outweighed the risk for me that day. So balance, security and well-being. Teach your brain to balance the seesaw, it says here. So what risks do I face from my condition in my life? And you sort of balance that out with what makes me secure and gives me well-being in my life. I think that's really difficult sometimes to tell, you know, what to do. I know that going to the cinema makes me incredibly happy and I love it, and I love films. I'm a real film buff, but I know that sitting in a cinema for 2.5 hours kills me. It just depends what day I'm having. It depends how important that film is to me. I went to see Avengers Endgame because it was very important to me at the time. So yeah, I think, and also from the book, it tells you to create a list of risk and well-being, and to look over that list and realise and recognise that things will change. The risks that I've faced have been seeing the MRI, seeing that bulge there, that it's back after my surgery, knowing that it's there. Things like the strong medication is a risk factor for me, side effects, work, questioning my abilities is a huge thing for me. I know what I'm able to do. I know if I can be there doing the work or not. Just trust me that I know that. I've had a lot of sort of workplace people questioning my ability, and actually, no, I know what I can do. I'm fine to be here. Don't question that. You know, I know if I'm bad, if it's really bad and I can't be there, you'll know about it. Persistent pain, being a burden, is a huge thing. not being exciting. I want to feel like when I'm with my friends and family and things, I can still be exciting and I can still do things like when we went on holiday. Yeah, I want to be exciting. I want to join in. I don't want to be, you know, sat in the background, sleeping, my relationship, you know, the future, going out, holidays, all those things are all sort of on the risk side of the scale. But my well-being is, you know, being comfortable, stable, working, learning about pain, learning about what I can do to make things better, knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel sort of thing, routines, pain clinic, having a good doctor, things like going for lunch after an appointment, so important to me, so important. I have to weigh out that possible negative with a positive. If you go for an appointment, take yourself to lunch, do it. Just, you know, I don't care if you're with someone else or on your own. I've been on my own at many appointments. I will always take myself to lunch afterwards. That is so important, so important. Trying new medications can be on either side. Medications can be scary, but depending on where you are, if you're in a lot of pain, medications can be very exciting too. Just awareness of my pain, of how I'm feeling and of how I can make it better. My family are fantastic. My relationship is wonderful. Game nights with my friends, obviously, from what you've seen behind me, we love board games. We collect board games. So we have game nights with friends, and it means I can sit in my home, snack, play games, do what I love, be with people that I love. Bob and Brad on YouTube are absolute legends. I love them. They've helped me through my whole journey so far. And this has all come from this book. This is what's brilliant. It makes you think about things and it makes you reflect. And if you've got somewhere to write all those reflections down and to be creative with it, like, you can make this really beautiful. I've got another little notebook which I absolutely love, and it's this, and it's ridiculous, but I absolutely love it, and it's my little binder, and I keep everything that I love in this binder. You know, I've got just lots of things. I can't really show you what's written in there because it's like up and coming reviews and things like that I put in there. Oh, sorry. I knocked your camera. So yeah, this book, just I'm really passionate about it, and I'm really happy about it because, as I say, it teaches you to learn to relax, sleep, pace yourself, become self-empowered, and create this sort of purposeful, calm approach to your pain. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. And it talks about the science of pain gateways, which I really like. Gateways that appear between your brain and your pain, about closing those pain gateways. You can use physical soothing activity like touch, heat, cooling. All these things reduce the perception of pain. And using conscious thought as well, awareness of general well-being, safety and practical plans for overcoming your pain. Really, really helpful. It's really easy to read. It's a really easy read. You know, David Walton has just written it really nicely. I need to find out more about this man because he has changed things for the better for me. Definitely. Definitely. So, if you've really liked this and you would like to see more of these videos, I've got more reviews coming up, products of books. I'm going to talk about podcasts and public speakers. I'm going to go out into the community and see what's out there for pain management, things like acupressure and acupuncture and things like that. I also have a couple of people that are willing to be interviewed in a sort of podcast setting, which will be nice. If you want to keep up with all these things, please subscribe. Yeah, it would be lovely. I'd really appreciate it. Like the video if you've liked it. If you've gained anything from this video, I'd really appreciate a like. And I will pop the link for this book down below. I haven't been asked to review this book. I haven't been paid to review this book. I just really like it. I really love it and I really want to help, and it's helped me, so it might help you. Alright, so thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me jabber on. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a long one, but everything that I've said I think just really needed to be said. Thank you so much. This has been a really nice review to do. Alright, thanks guys. Love you.